Welcome everyone to the Great Plains Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thanks for joining us. A few housekeeping items. Before we get started, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Feel free to direct them specifically to an institution or ask them generally. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, which is why that Q&A button is so important to communicate to the reps throughout the session. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for more at the end of the college fair. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week or so on that strivescan.com/GPACAC website. I will turn it over to our first presenter, which will be University of Arkansas. Take it away.
All right. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kaylin DeLauder. I am an admissions counselor with the University of Arkansas. I am actually the admissions counselor for the state of Oklahoma. Joining me is my colleague, JC Bradford. She is actually going to be manning the chat. So if you have any questions, please feel free to just drop them in that chat box. But we will go ahead and get started. So the University of Arkansas, we are a Southeastern Conference Division I school. We are a Tier 1 research institution. We were actually voted in the top 10 best places to live and in the top 25 outdoor colleges in the nation. So we are located in Fayetteville, Arkansas. If you are not familiar with the University of Arkansas, not a problem. We are located in the northwest region of the state. We are about an hour and a half away from Tulsa, about 3.5 hours away from Oklahoma City, also about 3.5 hours away from Kansas City, and then about 6 hours away from Omaha. So as I mentioned, we are located in the northwest region of the state. We actually have over 300 Fortune 500 companies located right here in Northwest Arkansas. So it is a very lively community. There is a lot to do. And we are actually located in the heart of the Ozark Mountains and near the Buffalo National River, which gives us that top 25 outdoor colleges ranking. But Arkansas is the natural state, and it definitely lives up to that title. There is a lot of beauty that lies here in our neck of the woods. We also have a nationally ranked farmers market. If you didn't know that farmers markets were ranked, I didn't either, but Fayetteville has one, and it is very fun. I have been a great way to get out and explore the local community. We also have several museums, Crystal Bridges being one, and we actually opened up a brand new one, I believe it was last year, called the Momentary, and so a lot to do. We also have a Razorback Greenway that stretches all over Northwest Arkansas, a great way to get out there and get some exercise, and there also are some beautiful scenic views as well along that trail. All right, so for the non-residents, we do have something called the New Arkansan Non-Resident Tuition Award. So what this is we have one for neighboring states, and we also have one for extended states. If you have the ability to screenshot, I would highly encourage you to do so. So this is an award that we have. You can see the states listed at the top of the screen. So this is an award that is a discount on out-of-state tuition. If you meet the criteria, it's automatically given to you. You do not have to apply for this award. So as you can see, a 3.2 will get you 70% discounted on out-of-state tuition. A 3.4 GPA or higher will get you 80% discounted on out-of-state tuition. And then a 3.6 GPA or higher will get you 90% discounted on out-of-state tuition. So this is an annual award. This is something that you will receive each year that you are a student here on campus with us. In the past, it used to be based on GPA and test score, but because of COVID, we did shift it to just GPA. We will be doing the same for the class of 2022 as well. So like I said, annual award, you meet the criteria, it is automatically yours, puts you very comparable to in-state rates. So it is a great award that we do have. We also have this award for extended states. So any other state other than our neighboring states, this will apply to you. So we have a 50% award and an 80% award. It works the exact same way. If you meet that criteria, it is yours. So as you can see, the criteria is listed at the bottom. If you have a 3.2 GPA or higher, you'll automatically be given a 50% discount on out-of-state tuition. If you have a 3.6 GPA or higher, you will automatically be given an 80% discount on out-of-state tuition. So again, if you have the capability to screenshot, I highly encourage you to do so. We also want to remind you that if you are a part of any of the tribes listed below that formerly resided in the state of Arkansas, then all we will need from you is just a copy of your tribal membership card, and we can actually get you classified as in-state for tuition and fee purposes. All right, so touching on some of the fun components of the University of Arkansas, we have over 400 student organizations here on our campus. There really is a place for everyone. We have some really fun and unique organizations like the I Heart Dr. Pepper Club, and for Harry Potter fans, we have a Quidditch team. So like I said, some unique and fun ways to get involved. We also have Greek life. About 30% of our campus is involved in Greek life. So if that's something you're interested in doing, we have a lot of options for you here on our campus. We also have over 200 different degree programs. So if you're wanting to major in something specific or take a class in something specific, the sky is certainly the limit for you here at the U of A. We have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio here on our campus, and we also are a bicycle-friendly university. So this past fall, in the fall of 2020, we actually reached a campus record enrollment of just under 28,000 students. So while we are a large university, we do have that 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. It's not too large to where it is overwhelming. We also have one of the top 5 study abroad programs in the nation. So if studying abroad is something that you're interested in doing, we have a lot of great options for you here at the U of A. How to apply? You can apply online at apply.uark.edu or through the Common App. Our application opens up July 15th every year. You can see our priority deadlines listed up at the top of the screen. So again, if you have the capability to screenshot, I would highly encourage you to do so. But we are going to be test optional for the class of 2022. So you can see that criteria right there listed on the screen. A 3.2 GPA or higher will get you in that test optional category, and then test flexible, the criteria is listed below. But if you have any questions, here is my contact. Please feel free to reach out to me. And then here is my colleague JC's as well. Thanks so much. And like I said, please feel free to reach out.
Thanks, Kaylin. Up next, we have McPherson College.
Hey guys, good evening. My name is Alex Luce. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at McPherson College in Kansas. Wow, Caitlin, I think it's going to be pretty tough coming up second to that farmer's market you guys got going on there. So anyways, bear with me as I share my screen here. All right, so if you don't know where McPherson College is, just essentially look at Kansas as a perfect square. We're about dead center in Kansas. We have about 850 students on campus. We are actually one of the most diverse private schools in the nation. We have a robust international student population. We have a nice connection in places like Rwanda, Congo, Nigeria, Ethiopia. We're starting to expand in Asia. We have a bunch of Europeans on campus as well. So, you know, it's not just come to campus and get involved with the local Kansas kids, but you actually get a taste of diversity in sense of interacting with a bunch of students on campus that are all over the map. We have 27 acres on campus, so it's, you know, for a small school, it's actually pretty well spread out. It's pretty, it's really nice. Cool thing about McPherson, we are small, so you know, there's no sleeping in into class. You know, you can wake up 5 minutes right before class and be there on time. Some important highlights about McPherson College. 2/3 of our graduates secured a job before graduation, which is 3 times the national average. 98% of our graduates earn jobs within the first 6 months of graduation. I want you guys to investigate that number, 98%. A lot of colleges announce that number. I do challenge you to ask those colleges, are those jobs in the field of study? So the worst thing that you want to do is go to a school, pay 4 years of education for a major, and be stuck without a job in that career, in that major that you studied. So 98% of our students in their field of major received a job. 100% of our students who applied to grad school gained admissions. New on-campus student health center. This is actually very unique. There's not a ton of colleges out there that actually have a fully licensed healthcare facility on campus. We do. Actually, the doctor that the main doctor there, she actually graduated from McPherson College. So she has a nice connection for you guys. Cool thing about that student healthcare center, you don't have to pay to go see a doctor. So if you feel like you have strep throat, or if you even want to get COVID tested, we do that all for free for you. The only time we charge is if there's any lab work, or obviously if you're assigned pharmaceuticals, you have to pay for that. But outside of that, you can go see a doctor basically anytime if you have any kind of symptoms. In addition to that health center, on the right side of it, we do have a fully licensed mental health clinic as well. And we do provide free sessions for all students on campus to go and attend, talk to a fully licensed confidential counselor. We just revamped our health science and healthcare management program. It's a really innovative program that tries to focus on rural healthcare. And we're actually giving $25,000 scholarships to those that are that apply for that. Basically, it's a 3.0 GPA or higher. And you know, as long as you haven't taken the test, 3.0 GPA or higher, and there's a brief application for that, but you can definitely get that $25,000. Another highlight, the Bulldog Adventures program that we offer is another innovative way for us to keep you engaged on campus. So we actually own a ton of land here in Kansas, mostly in the Flint Hills, which is one of the most, you know, it's pretty flat here in Kansas, but the Flint Hills, you got some hills out there. It's really beautiful. And we actually partnered with Cabela. So our Bulldog Adventures director will try to go on an adventure once a month, and this is free to all students. So if you want to go on that adventure, we go on various hiking trails across Kansas. We also will stay the night in tents, camp, we'll fish. He also oversees our shotgun sports program. So he will teach you how to shoot a shotgun if that's something that you would like to do. In addition to that Bulldog Adventures program, we also have Build Your Own Adventure. So if you and your buddies on the weekend want to get together and check out some equipment, we will fully lend you everything that you need for camping and fishing. So you can go out for the weekend, and then once you come back, you check that equipment in, and it's yours each time you want to use it. Here's a list of the various majors that we offer on campus. We are the only four-year bachelor's degree in the world that offers automotive restoration. So that's the only kind of techie part of our school. That program is very unique. It's very selective. People like Jay Leno, Wayne Carini, people like that actually donate to the school for that major specifically. So we work on pre-1970 vehicles, and we will actually physically bring them back to original value. So the cool thing about that is our students will do everything from metal, upholstery to engine. We will actually create the parts. So if you can't go to AutoZone and go buy a 56 Chevy, you know, alternator, we actually have the blueprints to most parts out there. So we will recreate those parts in the shop as well. And what we do with those programs or those cars, we'll send it back to the auto auction. Whatever we get for that month from that car, we pump back into the program. Other cool majors on campus, we got art and design, graphic design. That's probably one of the best in Kansas. Business program, our biology, biochem degree. Like I said, 100% placement into grad school. And then we have, you know, the fine arts, music, choir, theater, art, all that stuff. One thing that we do to give back to you guys, we want to help make sure college is affordable to you. So we introduced a couple of years ago a student debt project. Essentially what it is it's a way for you guys to graduate debt-free from McPherson College. The student debt project combines financial literacy, jobs, and mentorship. So if you join this program and you don't have a job, we will help you get a job. If you already have a job before you come to McPherson College, we will match any earned income from the moment you graduate high school until you report in the fall. So any earned income that you have and you save up during that summer, when you come in the fall, you can make a down payment. We'll match 25%. And that continues on throughout the year, no matter if you have one job or 5 jobs. So yeah, like I talked about, if you don't have a job, we'll get you a job, either on campus or off, every dollar that you earn and contribute to your student debt tuition payment, we will match 25%.
Hey,
The only
Alex, I'm so sorry.
go
We
ahead.
have to go on to the next institution.
No
I'm
worries.
so sorry.
I'll leave my contact info in the chat. Sorry, guys.
Yes, feel free to do that. And audience members, if you have any questions for McPherson, feel free to shoot those into the Q&A button and he'll be able to get back to you. But up next, I'd like to invite Bibi with Rockhurst University.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Bibi, and I work with Rockhurst University. And thank you for taking the time to join us today. So this page is just fast and fun facts about Rockhurst. We are a Jesuit institution located in Kansas City, Missouri. And in short, a Jesuit education prepares you to lead, serve, and pursue social justice. Our curriculum is based on the 7 classical liberal arts modes, which help you essentially mold you into a well-rounded individual of ideologies and cognizance. So with that, we do combine instructor-driven learning with the real-world experiences through internships, co-ops, undergraduate research projects that you can all start all of these your freshman year, and then also service learning classes. Rockhurst University is located right in the heart of KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri, and it is a 55-acre campus, which makes Rockhurst unique because you do have that sense of small school experience with a total population of 3,000 students, but in a big city. So we always say you get the best of both worlds here. The campus is only 10-minute walk from the infamous Country Club Plaza, and that's a hangout district, like I said, only 10 minutes away, with several restaurants, a park, and stores for shopping and such. Rockhurst is also a few minutes away from downtown Kansas City. And Kansas City has become super innovative, and it's up and coming with lots of entertainment to fill all of needs and lifestyles. And not only that, it is a very large hub for internships, particularly in healthcare, engineering, and nonprofit businesses. Rockhurst's faith and spirituality are valued as a component in the Jesuit education, but we are an all-inclusive campus, and we always say that we are a home for all faiths. As a Jesuit school, we are firm believers that 40% you learn in the classroom and 60% you learn outside of the classroom. So with that, we do offer over 70 clubs and organizations for students to participate in, such as sorority, fraternity life, Voices for Justice, Active Minds, Leaders for Environmental Awareness and Protection, and so much more, like intramurals and etc. We are a D2 school with 16 varsity sports. Sorry, I'm having a technical, here we go. Okay. We offer over 70 academic programs with several direct entry and pre-admit opportunities that are in this slide. And it's not really uncommon for our students to double major, and you still are able to graduate in 4 years, so you get to pick your own journey. We offer various scholarships, and they are available to students, as well as financial aid and grants that also come from Rockhurst or the federal government. You would be surprised at the amount of grants that you would qualify for. So as you can see here, our merit awards are solely based on a GPA, or with your SAT or ACT or SAT, if it helps level you up to the next level, and you automatically receive those every year for 4 years. Rockhurst is a rolling admission institution, so we don't have deadlines. So unless you are considering any of our direct entry programs, you're not required to submit your standardized test score. However, we do require your official transcript to come directly from your high school. And finally, we are open for in-person visits and virtual visits also. So you are welcome to come see us anytime on campus, particularly now that the weather is getting better. And this is my contact information. I tried to keep it short and sweet. So if there is anything, and I realized I did not have my camera on, and I am so sorry. But here I am, I'm sorry. But yeah, just feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.
Thanks, Phoebe. Our next institution is Nebraska Wesleyan University.
Hey everybody, I'm Jackie and I'm an admissions counselor at Nebraska Wesleyan University here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint real quick. So hopefully you can all see this, get it into presenter mode. All right, so Nebraska Wesleyan, where bright minds live, work, and learn. And we really are the right school in the right city here. As I said, in Lincoln, we are the capital city of Nebraska, and we're actually in the top 100 of the largest cities in the country, close to 300,000 people. So it's just the right size. We're in the heart of the Silicon Prairie, which is kind of a moniker to the Silicon Valley, where Apple and Google are at. And we have that nickname because we have a lot of startups here in Lincoln. We're kind of known for our entrepreneurship. We also have the Huddle headquarters here, which is an awesome internship opportunity for our business students, communication students, psychology students. I mean, you name it, and they'll take a Nebraska Wesleyan intern and then eventually probably hire them as well. We also are the happiest city according to Gallup and the healthiest city according to Daily Finance. So an awesome city to live in and go to school. The great thing about going to school in Lincoln at Nebraska Wesleyan University specifically is that we are a smaller school. So you can kind of get the bigger benefits of being in a city, but you also get that small town feel on our campus. And we do have about 16 to 1,700 undergraduate students. We also have graduate programs and adult students. But for our undergraduate students, we do have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have over 90 student groups and activities, so lots of different ways to be involved, a variety of different things to study with 132 majors, minors, and pre-professional programs, and we are in the top 10% in US News and World Report's regional universities. Our average class size is 16 students. 100% of our classes are taught by professors, not graduate assistants, even though we do have graduate students. They are not teaching. And your professor at Nebraska Wesleyan is actually going to serve as your academic advisor. So it's nice to have a professor scheduling your classes for you because they actually know what you need to take. So that's a really nice connection. And it just, again, provides that personal attention, which is one of our core values at Nebraska Wesleyan. And with that, we do have a 4-year graduation commitment for each student. We never have an issue having students graduate in 4 years. Sometimes we have to have them pump the brakes and stay for 4 years because a lot of times they're coming in with so many dual credit courses or AP credit courses, and they're taking so many credits each semester and taking summer classes. And, you know, the typical Nebraska Wesleyan student is an overachiever. So sometimes they can graduate in 3 years, but we really like them to stay for 4 because it's going to be some of the best years of your life here. We are very affordable. All of our students do receive financial aid. We have distributed over $15 million in financial aid in the past year. We also do personal financial aid consultations with each student. And all of our financial aid awards are going to be customized to you based on your academics and your level of need. So with that, academic scholarships, our academic scholarships are available for any student if they get admitted. So we do have a test optional criteria as well as a combination of ACT and SAT criteria as well, kind of similar to Rockhurst in terms of if you have a higher test score equivalent, you can level up a little bit if it's higher than your GPA or vice versa. So any student that gets admitted is going to be at our Nebraska Strong Grant of $15,000 per year, up to our very top Board of Governors scholarship. But we also do have other institutional opportunities, competitive scholarships, of course, outside scholarships, and we do encourage our families to file the FAFSA because you never know what you're going to get, you know, if you don't file that. So that's open October 1st, by the way. And then finally, we do have a lot of experiences for our students at Nebraska Wesleyan. We also believe that a lot of learning happens outside the classroom. So we have a component of our curriculum called experiential learning. And this includes internships, research, study abroad, and service learning. And I kind of already touched on internships. And by the way, all of our students have to do 2 of these 4 components for their experiential learning. So internships are really common here in Lincoln. Research, our students are able to do research from their first year. We also do have a really strong study abroad program at 33% or 33 times the national rate. And then service learning is a great way to be involved in the community, which a lot of our students do that here at Nebraska Wesleyan as well. We have over 40 different plays and musicals with one of the top 30 theater programs in the country. We also have really strong vocal and instrumental groups on our campus. We have a very good Greek life with 6 fraternities and sororities. And we also have 21 varsity athletic teams in the NCAA Division III. So there really are a lot of opportunities for you as a student at Nebraska Wesleyan. So what's next? We would love for you to apply. We also are a rolling application, so you can apply really anytime. And that application, by the way, is free. We also would love to have you visit. We are doing virtual visits as well as in-person visits. You can do those any time of year. You can do them as early as your freshman year if you wanted to. So it's really never too early to start looking. And of course, if you have any questions beyond this presentation, I would love to have you reach out to me. Here's my contact information, my work cell phone, and my email address. Thank you.
And thank you, Jackie. Up next, we have Derek with Pacific University, Oregon.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, my name is Derek Nagley, and I am your admissions counselor here at Pacific University. I get to work with all the students from the Great Plains area, which is pretty fantastic. I'm a former Pacific alum myself, and so I get to talk to you today about Pacific and what we have to offer. The biggest difference you're going to hear is we're going to be the one that's a little bit further away when we're talking about today. So, as our name implies, Pacific University, Oregon, we are located in the amazing state of Oregon. So we're kind of in the upper northwest corner of the US, and Pacific itself is located in a small town called Forest Grove, which is in the northwest corner of Oregon itself. So to give you an idea of where it's at, Portland, Oregon is what we're part of. We are part of Portland Metro, but we're right on the edge of it. So you get the best of both worlds, where if you come to Pacific, you get to experience Portland, all the amazing things that have to offer there. But because we are part of Portland Metro, you're also able to connect into mass transit. You can get to the airport, which is going to be really important if you're coming from further away, without having to have a car. And we're only about 30 minutes from downtown. So you can be watching a Blazers game in about 30 minutes from our campus. But the other nice thing is if you turn around and walk a mile the other direction, you are headed into these beautiful mountains you see behind me, old growth forests, all the way out to the Oregon coast. So within a 15-minute walk from campus, you can actually be hiking in thousands of miles within the Tillamook National Forest. An hour drive from campus, you're sitting in 3 different cities on the Oregon coast or exploring the Coast Range, or you can be in 2 hours sitting up on Mount Hood and skiing year round. So it's an amazing area to experience the city life, the college life here in Forest Grove, and then also the outdoors that come along with living in Oregon. And it was pretty fantastic. I heard earlier that there's a Silicon Prairie because the Northwest calls it the Silicon Forest. So many of those startups that you're hearing, especially in things like athletics, computers, are moving up to the Portland metro area. So places like Nike, Intel, Xerox, Columbia, all have big national headquarters that you can connect in with here as well. And as a small private liberal arts university, we're treating all of our 65 different majors, minors, and programs like you're in an honors college. So the great thing with Pacific is you do not have to apply for anything extra. No matter where you're coming from in the US, no matter what school you're applying into, you are coming to Pacific as a student. So there's no extra applications for out of state. There's no extra application for honors college because all of our students are treated the same throughout our entire programs. Whether you're in our 1900 undergraduate students or our 2000 graduate students, you're going to be able to be in small classes taught by real professors who come to your classroom, talk to you, help answer questions, and work with you on your academic advising. And they get a 4-year guarantee while you're here. So no matter what you're doing while you're studying here, you're getting in and out in 4 years, no 5th years or 6 years, but you get to do that 4-year education and take the next step right away. We're best known for things like the health professions. So if you want to go into optometry, physical therapy, athletic training, that's where we get really well known, as many of our graduate schools are in those programs. But we also have amazing nationally ranked business, creative writing, and education programs as well. So you're going to find lots of different things to study while you're at Pacific. And to help you with that, whether you come in undecided or knowing what you want to study, we start our job shadowing research and internships freshman and sophomore year of college, not waiting till you're a junior or senior. So that when you leave with your degree, your classes, and you have a real life resume to back up those things by working at places like Nike, Intel, Xerox, Columbia, so that you can have those things to talk about and be placed into jobs at a very, very high rate. We also know our students love to be active. In fact, we encourage it. Our average student at Pacific is involved in 3 clubs or sports that have nothing to do with what they're studying here. And we like it that way because we want our students to come in and be able to do all the things they love, not have to pick and choose. So whether that's joining some of our 70 different clubs and organizations on campus, where you will find your group, your people, your identity that you can connect with and build on. Maybe that means being in the performing arts, singing in a choir, acting in a play where you don't have to major or minor in those things to be part of them, or being part of our 24 varsity, 20 intramural, and 10 club sports on campus. You're gonna find a way to stay active and connected. But we also want you to take that education you're getting in the classroom into the real world, and not just in the research internship, kind of that checkbox, but to actually give back and solve real world problems. So whether that's, again, going out into the Pacific Northwest and exploring through our Outdoor Pursuits office, where they do trips, they do leadership. We even have an outdoor leadership minor that you can add on to your major here at Pacific. Or maybe that means studying abroad all around the world, whether that's for a full semester year or for a 2 to 3 week winter course with a professor going to those areas. Or maybe that means giving back through community service. And Pacific is continually on the list of the President's Community Service Colleges. We're very, very proud of the amount of community service we give back, not just in Forest Grove, but in the Portland area, Oregon, and in the world as a whole, as some of those travel classes are actually community service classes in another country over that winter term. And again, I mentioned earlier, there's no separate application. You're just applying to Pacific, whether you're in state or out of state, doesn't matter. And that applies to our scholarships as well. Whether you're getting an academic merit scholarship for your academics in high school, your grades, your classes, we are test optional, and we will continue to be test optional. And you'll be receiving between $15,000 and $27,000 a year for all 4 years for those, whether that's attending an event, whether that's on campus, or being able to come out and see us in person, or getting some of the additional scholarship for things like music, dance, theater, leadership, outdoor activities. You're going to find a lot of opportunity for scholarship while you're at Pacific. And we want to be able to make it affordable to you. In fact, at Pacific, 99% of our students receive financial aid. So you're going to be able to make Pacific an affordable option for you, no matter where you're coming from. And again, I want to introduce myself. I'm Derek. I'm actually your admissions counselor. So when you apply, whether that's this going into the fall where we're still accepting applications and awarding, or next fall as an incoming senior that year, I'm going to be the one reading your application. So please reach out and send us lots of questions in the Q&A. We're glad to answer them there as well. So thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Derek. And I will ask you to stay, keep your camera on, and I'm going to invite all of the other presenters to turn their cameras back on as well. Unfortunately, Dodge City couldn't be here tonight, so that does wrap up all of our presentations for the night, but we are going to go into some live Q&A. I'm going to post some questions that'll be for the greater good of the audience, but also provide more in-depth information and some fun information about each institution. So I am going to ask first, give us a fun or interesting fact about your school, and we will just go ahead and answer in the order that you all presented. So take it away.
Hello. So a fun fact about the University of Arkansas is that we actually have a hog call. So if nobody is familiar with the University of Arkansas, I would highly encourage you to maybe YouTube it after this. We call the hogs. We've got a whole chant for it. And it is so fun. I will tell you, there's nothing like being at an event, a university event, and calling the hogs. We do take any opportunity, any chance that we can to do so. So that is a fun fact. And we are very prideful when it does come to the Razorbacks. So fun fact, a very fun aspect of life at the U of A.
Wow, Kaylin, you keep on one-upping everyone. That's awesome. Yeah, so we're kind of a Scottish heritage. So actually, when you come in, all freshmen, all new students, at the beginning of the year, you guys will line up and 2 bagpipers will lead you around campus, and then they will do the same thing when you graduate. So it's kind of a little fun fact. And then we also have 3 bulldogs on campus. So
these are really cool. With the Rockhurst, actually, this is my favorite fun fact, but there are several. But we actually, when we were first founded in 1910, we were an all-males college, and it was just one building on the 55-acre, and that's where the gentlemen lived and took their classes. And that building currently is being renovated into our nursing school, so it's actually so profound. And now, ever since we started accepting women, I think it was 1966. Our female population is larger, so we are at roughly 58% female population. So it is really cool. That's my favorite. So
that's awesome. I would say my favorite fun fact about Nebraska Wesleyan, and I'm also an alum of Nebraska Wesleyan, so I have a lot too, but we actually have a campus ghost. And I used to give tours as a student, and so I love telling families about the campus ghost, Clara. I personally have never seen her, but there have been rumors of her appearing in different places on campus. But don't be scared of her. She's a friendly ghost.
So one really kind of random fun thing with Pacific is where we're located in Oregon, we actually get about 15% of our students from the islands of Hawaii. So it's actually the shortest flight from Hawaii is to Portland, so it's still kind of being close to home. But what that means is our Hawaii club on campus is actually our largest student-run club, and they put on the largest student-run luau anywhere on the mainland US. So it's bigger than any other school other than in Hawaii, and it's all student run. So no matter where you're coming from, you can actually take hula classes and dance on stage in front of almost 4,000 people at our annual luau. So it's this huge event. It's really exciting. If you're like me and learn to dance in boots in a barn, you just avoid that and just go watch your friends, but it's still really cool to have this amazing, huge luau right on our campus.
All great answers. Love it. Let's switch gears a little bit. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Yeah, someone going through the college search process, I would definitely encourage you to go and visit these schools, tour them, keep an open mind, and really find a school that feels like a perfect fit for you.
Yeah, I echo what Galen said, but also I would say try to, college debt's kind of a big deal nowadays. So you want to make sure you align yourself to a university that will not only help make it affordable for you, but also set you up for success. So, can they guarantee you getting a job? How many internships are you able to go on? That's another key thing. Most of the time students change their major, 3 times during the time that they're a college student. So if you can go on those internships early, hopefully that will solidify that's what you want to do.
Mine would be every thing that Alex and Kaylin said, but also communicate with your dedicated admission counselor from that school. You'll always have an admission counselor at whichever school you're pursuing. We really want to hear your concerns because if we more than likely we'll be able to address them, and that will help you make your decision whether you decide to go to that particular school or move forward from it. So don't be afraid to communicate. We communicate in all ways. We're cool and we text if you need to text, email, call, whatever you need.
Great suggestion so far. I would say mine would be really not to judge a school by its price. As I kind of mentioned earlier with the application process, you really never know how much it's going to cost until you apply and you get accepted at that university, explore some of the scholarships they might have as an institution, and then also, of course, file that FAFSA and see what you might get from that.
I like going last. I have time to think of an answer. So one of the things I always tell students, though, is don't look for just one word when you're choosing a college. So whether that's a degree, whether that's a state, whether that's a program, because colleges have this really annoying habit where we will rename anything we possibly can just so we sound unique. So if you go into your search and look for, okay, I want to go for exercise science because that's what you've heard mom call it or your coach call it or whatever, you're going to miss out on colleges that might call it kinesiology, science of sports movement, science of motor movement. We all name it something different. So when you're starting those searches, don't narrow it down to one word. Or again, reach out to your counselor. Hey, do you guys have this program? We'll probably tell you, yes, it's just named something else and sorry in advance. But it really helps to not focus in on like one word or one state because there's so many amazing options out there.
Awesome. And our last question is going to be, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Yes, so my favorite tradition at the University of Arkansas is our senior walk. So what it is every graduate from the University of Arkansas actually gets your name etched into the sidewalks all over campus. So we have over 200,000 names on the sidewalk. It stretches out for over 4 miles. My name's on that sidewalk. I even have family members' names that are on that sidewalk. So it's a really unique tradition to be able to go back to campus at any moment in time and to see your name, to see all that hard work and dedication that you put into getting your name on that sidewalk. Just shows that your legacy lives on at the U of A forever.
Yeah, mine, it's kind of two. We do fake casino nights. So you gamble fake money for real prizes. And it's always cool to see people dress up and have fun there. Probably the most common one would be campus blowout. So at the end of the year, we bring in like over 30 plus blow up competitions, and you sign up for groups of 3 and you compete against each other. And it's a big, we have a bunch of food, and we also have the car show there during that time too. So.
Again, that's my personal favorite, but it is the free stuff fair, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a fair where all student clubs and organizations come and table all around the quad on campus, and they give you free stuff of all sorts, like really cool stuff. Like last year, we had to do it differently because of COVID, obviously, but there were socks or Rockhurst chargers, pizza, food, like really, really cool. And even like faculty and staff come down and walk around the quad, but you get to meet your students. And that normally happens during welcome week. So it's the first week of when classes start. And it's really cool because you get to see campus come alive. So yeah.
I love hearing these. I would say my favorite tradition at Nebraska Wesleyan, and it's just such a fun time of year when everybody's moving back to campus. We always have like a big get together for all the students, and we always have a hypnotist that comes. And it's always really funny to see what students are going to go on stage, and it gets pretty wild. I mean, it's amazing what people will do when they're hypnotized.
So one of the fun traditions at Pacific is, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek one, but explaining what our mascot is. So we're this dragon dog thing over here. It's named Boxer. So it's actually a Chinese Qilin, which is a guardian thing. But because it's a boxer, we have to explain it to everyone, whether it's a tour, somebody coming to campus, your little brother or sister, because they suddenly realize you're the PU boxers, and then it's a hilarious underwear joke. And then you also have to explain that, no, you're not the dogs, no, you're not the UPS people, but we're this really cool dragon thing named Boxer, and we were so proud of our mascot. But we also love to joke about it because our mascot itself is actually the plush version of the dragon who wears boxing gloves and then a bright big pair of heart-shaped boxers. So.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for being here and sharing their evening with us and all the great information that they shared with about their institutions. Hopefully everyone learned something and enjoyed it. We want to thank you for coming. As you exit the webinar, you will be taken to a quick survey. It's only 4 questions, so we'd love to hear feedback regarding this particular session. And I did misspoke at the beginning at the presentation. This is the last session of the GPACAC virtual fair. And so we will be posting all of the recorded sessions on the website early next week so that you can re-review sessions you participated in or watch ones that you may have missed. So thank you so much again for joining us tonight. Hope everyone has a great evening and take care.